Welcome to the Just Make It Pretty podcast, the slightly unhinged marketing podcast for home builders and beyond. I'm your host, Sarah Haynes, also known as the Pixel Wizard, and my goal is to tackle the tough stuff that goes in behind the scenes in marketing and offer actionable tips, creative insights, and a little bit of humor to spark some creativity. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Just Make It Pretty podcast. Today, we are talking about how all of you builders can stand out in a sea of homes. And I have a very special guest, one of my favorite people in the building industry, Marisa Kennerson here. She is the National Account Director at Realtor.com New Construction. And she is an absolute expert at making your listings the very best that they can be and helping builders stand out. So, Marisa, thank you for being here.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you. And I feel like this topic is going to be really interesting because listings are just an afterthought for a lot of people. So I think dedicating an entire episode to this is going to be a really interesting conversation. So I can't wait to jump right in. But before we do that, let's do your introduction. So tell me about how you got into this industry and about your role now at Realtor.com.
Oh gosh, about 1.5 million years ago. I've been in this industry my entire career. I started in 1999 working for a large Florida developer, and I was there for 15 years. I learned a ton of experience on development, HOAs, new construction, just a ton of good permits, land development, all that stuff. And then I moved into new home construction, and I was in marketing with ICI Homes, a large Florida builder. And I was there for about 6 years when I finally came here, and I turned the tables and I went from being a marketer to working in sales, even though if you ask me any day of the week, I don't do sales. We just have conversations. And I've been here at Realtor.com on new construction ever since, just taking everything that I've learned my whole career and then using that to help builders make really good decisions on their advertising.
You're one of the only people that is, I went from marketing to sales and I love it. And I'm like, what? Like,
I'm as shocked as you are.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be making that transition anytime soon, but you are very good. I do agree. Like, sales is mostly just the conversations. And if we're all just here to help each other, that's what I always remind myself when I'm like trying to do sales is I just want to find out if we're a good fit to help each other. So I think you do that really well.
Thank you.
So let's talk about listings. I guess the best place to start is let's break down what the problem is here. Like, why do you think that listings are an afterthought? Or maybe I'm wrong. What do you think that they are an afterthought? So break it down for me from your perspective.
Sure. What I see is that builders know what their listing looks like on their site very well. They understand how it fits inside of the structure of their website, how all of the information around it supports the listing. And it's easy for someone to click here or click there and get all of the story about the listing, whether it's who they are, how they build, what kind of other options they have for their home, and everything surrounds their listing like a little cocoon. But now you have to pluck it off of that website and drop it onto a site like Realtor.com or any third-party aggregate site. And it has to be able to stand alone. It has to be able to convey the message, why choose me, in a sea of all of the other homes, new construction and resale, that are available in a market.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Because as someone who's like built websites before, it's like you put so much thought into this whole experience that this person's going to have. And there's a lot of information, and the listings either don't have all that functionality, or it's just, I've already done it. We really want them on our site. So we'll just, turn a blind eye to everything else.
And you said it perfectly, because the people who build sites, like your company, right? You build a site not with the forethought of it being taken apart and one piece of it being moved onto somebody else's site and having it have everything that someone needs to make a decision. So that is a form over function kind of piece that many builders have to grapple with as they give us their data and how it pulls over.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel, the industry is always changing, and, how people are searching is always changing. And so as companies, we need to be innovating all of the time. And I feel like part of that is listings and how buyers are interacting with them differently now. So What kind of changes have you seen on that side of things that is influencing this?
People search online first. Predominantly, they're going to start at a place like a third party aggregate like realtor.com. They're going to start in a site like ours to see what's available in their area, who's building, and then they might go and take that information that they have and then go over to the builder site and look there to get a more in-depth picture of what they have available. It can also go the other way, but people are resilient and they research the way that they know how, and they know how to get the information that they need to make enough of a decision to ask more questions.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And I know even when I've looked at, new homes, yeah, I like the listing sites like realtor.com or any of the other ones because you can see everything in that one area together. And you can, maybe if I haven't decided on, I'm going to go with this builder, like I can see everything in one place. So it's really helpful for me as like a starting point. And I'm sure that a lot of people search that way as well.
Sure. And then consider the relocations, the retirement homes, the vacation homes. They're not from an area. So you can I live in Florida. Take Florida, for instance. If somebody's going to move from the Northeast to Florida, they may know if they want to be on the side with the Atlantic Ocean or if the side of the Gulf of Mexico. They may know if they don't want to be at the very bottom of the state or if they don't want to be at the very top of the state. They pretty much know the large swath that they want to be in. But do they know the difference between this town and this city or this county and this county? Not really. So when they go to the aggregate sites like realtor.com, they can search and see everything that's available, and it's their starting point. It is where they start to get their inspiration. What's available? What does the land look like? What are the prices in this city as opposed to this city?
Yeah. No, it's so helpful for that as like searching. Even sometimes, I've bought homes in the area that I do live in, and it's like you still just want to see everything that's available rather than being so focused in before you've decided if you have a builder. From what you're saying, I feel like what I hear is these listings basically should be treated like their own mini website, each little one of them. Is that accurate?
I think when you think about it that way, it feels insurmountable. So it almost feels like, but it's just enough information that people can make a decision that yes, this is the house that I want to see on Saturday. You could look through realtor.com in a market and you could find 100 homes that fit your profile, but you're not going to go see 100 houses on Saturday. You're going to see 5. So of those 100, which ones check all the boxes that are so important to you? And if you give them the information to make that choice, you could be one of the 5. If you don't give them the information, it's really hard for them to say, that's the home that I want more information on when they have no idea if their family fits in that kitchen.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I don't want to like overcomplicate it. So, what would be like the core things that you need? Like your non-negotiables, every listing needs to have this. What is it?
You'd be surprised. Price,
Price.
whether it's floor plan or spec, you need to have your price because a photo is not going to realistically tell someone, especially out of market, that relocation, for instance, if that is a $200,000 home, a $600,000 home, or an $800,000 home. There's really no way to know without that base price. Photos. There needs to be enough photos to intelligently answer those questions. Consumers want to know 3 things. They want to know if it's a 1-story or a 2-story. Does my family fit in that kitchen? And does my stuff fit in that bedroom? And those are the 3 questions that they ask after the important things that I can't help with. Can I afford it? Is it where I need to live? When I need to live? Those are the 3 things that none of us have any control over, right? What we do have control over is once they know those 3, the next 3 are, is it a 1-story or 2-story? Does my family fit in that kitchen? Does my stuff fit in that bedroom? If you can answer those questions, you have a chance of being one of the 5 that they're going to see on Saturday, right? If you're not, they're going to go back. There are 2,000 homes available in any given market at any given time. They're just going to go find one that checks all their boxes.
Yeah. The good news is most builders know all of those specs about their homes. So you just have to go fill it out. I think pictures is probably the hardest one for some, if you haven't built this home before or something like that. So in those cases, renderings and things like that, does that work?
And there are so many tools available now. You can take a spec and you can drop AI furniture into it. Matterport tours, right? So your photos give an idea of each of the rooms, but a Matterport tour lets you walk through it and feel the space without having to walk through it and feel the space, right? You know how long that hallway is. You know if that's a little tiny room because you've just walked into it. And it gives you a perspective that many other ways it doesn't compare. And then some builders will take that Matterport, you can turn it into a video. So you can give people another way to watch that walkthrough without actually hitting all of the buttons. So there's a lot of options. And then the last piece that I would say, not necessarily a non-negotiable, but it's your description. Why this house? It's your USP, your unique selling proposition. Why is this house the one that you need to see? Why is it this house? Is it a promotion? Is it the lot? Is it the view in the backyard? Is it the way that the dining room is laid out just so? Why this house? And it needs to be expressed in words and in photos so that people have all of the ways to understand what this house represents to ask the question.
Yeah. Now, this question just popped into my head
Do it.
on the fly. So that description, would you say that would be more information than what the exact same description would be on their website? Because it's like you said, it's separated from the website. Do they need to add more detail there, or is the same one good?
So the larger builders, we bring over what's on their website. So that's what we show. Whatever is on your website, we're going to get a file every day, and that's what we show in the listings. Smaller builders are builders who don't have and I don't want to get too technical, but the ones that don't have an XML feed, they don't have that file that comes over, they can manually input into the back end of realtor.com and put all their communities in, all their floor plans and their specs. And those builders would be able to write that description. But I would say, regardless of where it is, it should always be the best description it can be for two reasons. One is SEO. Even though we're going the way of AI, SEO is still going to be so important. And the other, at least on our site, is that we are going to take that description that some people will read, but a lot of people won't. And we're going to bubble up to the top the most important features. And we're going to show them as little bubbles on top of the description. So you don't have to read the whole thing, but you're going to see quartz countertops. You're going to see walk-in closet. You're going to see dog park or great schools. You're going to see all of those USPs, those absolute reasons why this is the house you should choose, bubble all the way up to the top. So it's easy to see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that automatic feed, but it's still, I've seen builders, they have that, and then you don't even have the description on your site. So where do you think it's going to come from? So yes, I definitely think that content is so important. And it's especially like you said, for the search engines and AI, it's still looking at the same information. Having that is just best practice, regardless if it's, pushing anywhere or not. So definitely do that, you guys, if you don't have that on your website. What other things do you feel like builders might miss when they're creating these listings, or do you feel like we've covered it all?
Promotions, incentives. Right now, so we're in a tough market in a lot of places, but babies still happen, jobs still happen, people still need to move and they want to move. And I think what we're seeing is that they're just looking to make sure that the move they're making is the best choice they can make with the information that they have. So when builders pass their promotions, we are now passing them along in the listing. So it will say flex cash, and then the pop-up will say exactly what their offer is, $20,000 flex cash to use towards X, Y, and Z. Or it'll be a rate buy down, or it'll be an appliance package, whatever their incentive is. Pushing that over gives the consumer the full picture of what's available, not just for that listing, but all the listings around them. And depending on when your subscribers watching this, right now we're in September 25 and we are in our days of deals. So it's like a nationwide event at realtor.com. We promote all of our builders' promotions and their incentives, and we put them at the forefront of realtor.com, and we bring that along with a ton of education and trying to get the consumer to understand that promotions are a real thing. Here's what they look like in plain language. It is something that resales don't give you. Resales don't have promotions. They don't have cash at closing. They don't have $20,000 flex cash, and it helps make the decision that this house is affordable. And sometimes it's even more affordable or a better option than a resale. And we're just trying to level that playing field and make it easy for people to understand.
Yeah. Yeah, the incentive thing is interesting because I think in a lot of ways we've trained buyers to look for them And if they don't see it, they're like, oh, that's weird, like red flag. So having them on there, I know there's a ton of different schools of thought on whether or not to use promotions or not. But I do think that, buyers are looking, and especially on those sites when they're like got a sea of homes and everyone's got a promotion and you don't, you're going to stand out against them.
Yeah, we are trying to not be part of the problem, but be part of the solution. As long as people are looking for incentives and promotions, we want to be able to predominantly show them so that they're easy to see and easy to find.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So now, what are some like ways that you can use the data? Because I know that realtor.com and a lot of the listing sites give you a lot of data about your listings, their performance, all of that. How can you actually use that to improve your strategy?
That's a great question. I have two separate answers for you. One is a brand new feature that we've released it's been a couple months now. It's called Content Quality Report. And every month, our builders receive a file, and there is a line item for every community, every plan, and every spec. And then there are a list of columns: character count for descriptions, image count. Are you sending us the geocodes or the lat logs? Are you sending a promotion? What is the square footage? And it is an easy, among a bunch of other pieces. And it gives the receiver, the builder, an easy 2-minute exercise every month to look and see where the holes are. Where is the outlier? Where is the description with 200 characters instead of 1200? Where is the photo gallery with 3 images instead of 33 images? Instead of hunting and pecking for them and doing an audit, once a month you look at this report, highlight the things that you or someone in your office needs to work on, and then the next month we're going to do another one, right? So over time you increase the content of all of your listings with this very quick 2-minute exercise with this one report. So that's the first thing. The other thing we have in our performance report that is sent out with our invoices, there is a tab in the workbook, and it's called detail. And it is the detail, and it lists out every spec, every plan, and the metrics for it. How many impressions, how many page views, how many times does someone share it? And then you can take that data and either send it to the team that works on this, because this is more sales or development or land than it is marketing, but they can use this data to make informed decisions on which plans work great in this market, which ones are just falling flat, which ones do I want to make sure are in the sister community that will be, or the next phase, or the community down the street. If this plan is working so well here, do I want to also use it there? And you can use that along with the feedback that you get from your appointments, and then again, make better decisions, data driven.
Yeah. I love when builders or anyone gets like new data and they figure out like a new creative way to use it. And like those kind of insights, they're so valuable. And I just love like the stories of, oh, we actually do this other thing with it. So if there was something else that builders could take away from this, if you were to be like, hey guys, just do this one thing, what would it be?
Promotions. Send us your incentives. Absolutely. Right now, that is the driver. Right now, that's the difference between someone submitting a lead and someone going back to another listing to see another promotion, because 2 houses that are $400,000 are the same price until you build in the promotion. And sometimes the thing is that they have it, they're just not passing it. So we want to make sure that the listing is complete as possible. So we're giving consumers the best version of the listing so that they can make informed decisions to move forward with a lead to an appointment, of course, with the hope that goes to a sale.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, get your incentives in. I feel, we've heard a lot. 2026 is going to be more of the same. As we're seeing here in 2025, that strategy is going to work moving forward. And so building it in now into your process and like making sure you have it is like the perfect time to be like, make that shift if you're not already doing it or if you're not already sending it. Let's talk about where builders can go to get more information about this or to see what a good benchmark would look like for their listings.
They can reach out to any of us, and I'm sure at the end you're going to tell everybody how to get in touch with us. there is a page on realtor.com. Now, I'm not answering the question exactly the way you asked it, but there is a research page. It's realtor.com/research. And you would be surprised at the amount of information that is available to anyone for free. We can run, there is a report called Market Hotness, which I'm using an awful lot lately. I will meet with one of my builders, and this is already ready to go because I already know the angst and the anxiousness and the anxiety on their side. I'm not getting enough leads. I'm not getting enough traffic. What is going on? And I will first show them the market hotness report because it has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with you as a builder. We're just looking at what is happening in that market. And realtor.com tracks 300 metros. So I'm going to tell them what their metro is ranked. And then I'm going to tell it how it's changed in 3 years. And if today on the 300 that we track, if today you are at 280, but 3 years ago you were at 58, you are selling in a very different market than you were in when you bought the land that you are now selling, right? So it is a completely different landscape. And sometimes people just need to see it from at that macro level and say, oh, it's not us, it's not you. This is just what's happening here right now. It also tells you median days on market and how that has changed since last year. So it could be 58 days. Median days on market is 58 days, which is 20% slower than this time last year. That gives you, that one sentence gives you so much information that you can take back and say, okay, knowing this, now let's make our objectives. Now let's make our campaigns, because we know it's going to be slower because it's not us. It is just the land and where we are right now. And having that kind of information is very empowering, and it is very solution oriented. So that hotness report is one. There's also a cross market report in there that can show somebody, where are people located in the whole United States? Where are they located when they are searching for homes in your market? That answers a lot of questions, right? Where are they coming from? And if they're out of state, that's a great out of state Google campaign for you, right? And it's not it doesn't just benefit us, it benefits the builder, and it benefits the person receiving the data on, like you said earlier, how are you going to use this data? There are a lot of ways to use that, but knowing where your market's traffic is coming from is very important. You can run that report in state. So I just want to see the counties, right? I just want to see right around me, where are they coming from? Or you can look out of state. I want to know where those relocations are coming from. And then do they correlate to what I'm seeing in my CRM, right? And again, then you can make targeted campaigns that go and get more of those same people. There are a ton of other reports. And then of course we have our weekly video that is available I think it's every Monday, from Danielle Hale, which is just a quick 3-minute overview on what the market is doing right now. It's just a great way to start your week and just start it with data.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was that URL again, in case people missed it?
Yep. Realtor.com/research.
Okay. And I'm going to put it in the description box as well. I really do love that you guys do that, because I hear from so many home builders that, the market is hard right now and they're feeling discouraged and they're like, we're just not meeting our goals. And there's just a lot of worry out there, and having that information that, like, oh, it's not just me, or, there's, this other county is also experiencing it, or this was the same last year, or different data can really make a lot of those anxieties go away. Or, give you some information on, okay, they're seeing success over here, let's see what they're doing, and things like that. I know the home building industry, I'm always saying this, but the home building industry is so supportive mostly, and, reaching out to people in different markets and finding out. But that data is really a great place to start, so you know what to look for. Such an amazing research or resource for everyone. I've used it with builders before, and I've had it like pulled up in like sales rallies and like different meetings. They're like, oh, look at this. Definitely helpful for a lot of builders out there if you're not using it already. Now is the point where you get to say where everyone can reach out to you, because I know people are going to want to talk to you more about this. So where can they find you? What's the best way to connect?
I'm sure you're going to put my email address below. It's marisa.kennerson@realtor.com. 1S, Marisa. I'm on LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest way. Just search for my name and you'll find me, or go to realtor.com new construction and go to people and I'll be right there.
Perfect. All right. Before I sign off, is there anything else that you want to share today?
I just want to say thank you for inviting me to your podcast. I know you and I have worked together for an awful long time, and I love that we are a partner with not just you, but with Share Drive, and we work with your builders, and we just value your partnership. So I just want to say thank you for having me on your podcast.
Aw, you're so sweet. Yes, we value you as well. And I was, I made a list when I started the podcast. I'm like, here's all the people that I'm gonna have as guests. And you were on that very first list. I really appreciate you donating your time to us and sharing all your insights. I know that it's valuable for everyone, but I feel like I get the most out of every podcast episode out of anyone. So sorry, everybody, but I feel like I benefit the absolute most from all of our guests, and having these conversations is such a blessing to me. So thank you for being here. And for everyone else listening, thank you for being here as well. Make sure you like this episode, comment below, follow us, do all of the things that you need to do on the internet. It helps us, but you'll also get alerted next time we have an episode that comes out. Follow us on LinkedIn as well. I don't always say that, but we have a LinkedIn. We post our clips over there, as well as posting on Instagram. I do short clips from every episode. And I know for me, I would rather watch 100 short clips of a podcast than listen to the whole thing from start to finish. So go do that. I'm making those clips for you. Let me know what you thought, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.